Movement down at the end of the corridor.
No. It's just shadows. There's no one here. Trust me.
Zaphod, old mate. I trust you about as far as I could comfortably spit out a rat.
This is a dead planet, man.
There's definitely something happening down there.
No.
Listen.
Night's falling. Look, Robot, the stars are coming out.
I know. Wretched, isn't it?
But that sunset. I've never seen anything like it in my wildest dreams. The two suns. It was like mountains of fire boiling into space.
I've seen it. It's rubbish.
We only had the one sun at home. I came from a planet called Earth, you
I know. You keep going on about it. It sounds awful.
Oh, no. It was a beautiful place.
Did it have oceans?
Oh, yes. Great big, wide, rolling blue oceans.
Can't bear oceans.
Tell me, do you get on well with other robots?
Hate them. Where are you going?
I think I'll just take a short walk.
Don't blame you.
You choose a cold night to visit our dead planet?
Who are you?
My name is not important.
You startled me.
Do not be alarmed. I will not harm you.
But you shot at us. There were missiles.
Oh, an automatic system. Ancient computers ranged in the long caves deep in the bowels of the planet tick away the dark millennia, and the ages hang heavy on their dusty data banks. I think they take the occasional pot shot to relieve the monotony. I'm a great fan of science, you know.
Really?
Oh, yes. You seem ill at ease.
Yes, well, actually, I don't think we expected anyone to be about, in fact. No disrespect, but I gathered you were all dead.
Dead? No, we haven't slept. 5 million years. Nothing much seems to have changed.
Slept?
Yes, through the economic recession.
Economic recession?
Well, you see, 5 million years ago, the galactic economy collapsed. Seeing that custom-built planets are something of a luxury commodity. You know we build planets, do you?
Well, I'd sort of gathered that.
Fascinating trade. Doing the coastlines was always my favorite. Used to have endless fun doing all the little fiddly bits around fjords. Well, anyway, the recession came, and we thought it would save a lot of bother if we just slept through it. So we programmed the computers to revive us when it was all over.
Huh?
They were index-linked to the galactic stock market prices, you see, so that we'd all be revived when everybody else had rebuilt the economy enough to be able to afford our rather expensive services.
Isn't that rather unethical behavior?
Oh, is it? I'm afraid I'm a bit out of touch. Is that your robot?
No, I'm mine.
Well, if you call it a robot, it's more like an electronic sulking machine.
Bring it.
Bring it. Bring it.
On second thought, leave it here.
Bring it, leave it. I think I'll turn myself off.
You must come with me. Great things are afoot. Come now, or you will be late.
Late? What for?
What is your name, human?
Dent. Arthur Dent.
Late, as in the late Dent Arthur Dent. It's a sort of threat, you see. I've never been terribly good at them myself, but I'm told they can be terribly effective.
What an extraordinary person.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Where are we going?
We are going deep into the bowels of the planet, where even now our race is being revived from its 5-million-year-old slumber. Magrathea awakes.
Excuse me. What is your name, by the way?
My name? My name is Slarty Bartfast.
I beg your pardon?
Slarty Bartfast.
Slarty Bartfast?
I said it wasn't important.
It is an important and popular fact that things are not always what they seem. For instance, on the planet Earth, man had always assumed that he was more intelligent than dolphins because he had achieved so much. The wheel, New York, wars, and so on. Whilst all the dolphins had ever done was muck about in the water having a good time. But conversely, the dolphins believed that they were more intelligent than man for precisely the same reasons. Curiously enough, the dolphins had long known of the impending demolition of Earth and had made many attempts to alert mankind to the danger. But most of their communications were misinterpreted as amusing attempts to punch footballs or whistle for titbits, so they eventually gave up and left the Earth by their own means, shortly before the Vogons arrived. The last ever dolphin message was misinterpreted as a surprisingly sophisticated attempt to do a double backward somersault through a hoop whilst whistling the Star-Spangled Banner. But in fact, the message was this: so long and thanks for all the fish. In fact, there was only one species on the planet more intelligent than dolphins, and they spent a lot of their time in behavioral research laboratories conducting frighteningly elegant and subtle experiments on man. The fact that man, once again, completely misinterpreted this relationship was entirely according to these creatures' plans, as Arthur Dent will shortly discover.
Earthman, we are now deep in the heart of Magrathea.
How do you know I'm an Earthman?
These things will become clear to you. At least clearer than they are at the moment.
Oh.
I think I should warn you that the chamber we are about to pass into does not literally exist within our planet. It is simply the gateway to a vast tract of hyperspace. It may disturb you. It scares the willies out of me. Hold tight! Welcome to our factory floor. This is where we make most of our planets, you see.
You mean you're starting the whole thing up again now?
Oh, good heavens, no, no. The galaxy isn't nearly rich enough to afford us yet. Now we've been awakened to perform just one extraordinary function for a very special clients from another dimension. It may interest you. There in the distance in front of us. Well, the Earth Mark II, in fact. We're making a copy from our original blueprints.
Are you telling me you originally made the Earth?
Oh, yes. Did you ever go to a place, I think it was called Norway?
No, I didn't.
Pity. That was one of mine. Won an award, you know. Lovely, crinkly edges. I was most upset to hear of its destruction.
You were upset?
5 minutes later, and it wouldn't have mattered so much. Shocking cock-up, the mice were furious.
Mice?
Earthman, the planet you inhabited was commissioned, paid for, and run by the mice. It was destroyed 5 minutes before the completion of the purpose for which it was built. We have to build another one.
Mice?
Arthur bruised his upper arm. Arthur Dent, a perfectly ordinary Earthman, was rather surprised when his friend Ford Prefect suddenly revealed himself to be from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse and not from Guildford after all. He was even more surprised when a few minutes later the Earth was unexpectedly demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass. But this was as nothing to their joint surprise when they were rescued from certain death by a stolen spaceship manned by Ford's semi-cousin, the infamous Zaphod Beeblebrox, and by Trillian, a rather nice young astrophysicist Arthur once met at a party in Islington. However, all four of them are soon totally overwhelmed by surprise when they discover that the ancient world of Magrathea, a planet famed in legend for its surprising trade in manufacturing other planets, is not as dead as it was supposed to be. For Zaphod, Ford, and Trillian, surprise is pushed to its very limits when this happens. And when Arthur Dent encounters Slotty Bardfast, the Magrathean coastline designer who won an award for his work on Norway, and learns that the whole history of mankind was only being run for the benefit of a few white mice anyway, surprise is no longer adequate, and he is forced to resort to astonishment.
Mice?
Mind your head. Excuse the mess. Most unfortunate, a diode blew in one of the life support computers. When we came to revive our cleaning staff, we discovered they'd been dead for 30,000 years. Who's going to clear away the bodies? That's what no one seems to have an answer for.
Mice? Look, are we talking about the same things? Mice mean to me little white furry creatures with the cheese fixation and women standing screaming on tables in early 60s sitcoms.
Earthman, it is sometimes hard to follow your mode of speech. Remember, I have been asleep inside this planet of Magrathea for 5 million years and know little of these early 60s sitcoms of which you speak. These creatures you call mice, you see, are not quite as they appear. They are merely the protrusion into our dimension of vast, hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings. This business with the cheese and the squeaking is just a front. They've been experimenting on you.
Ah, no! No, look, you got it wrong. It was us. We were experimenting on them, making them run down mazes, ring little bells, eat little bits of cheese. And by analyzing their behavior, we were able to learn all sorts of things about ourselves.
Ah, such subtlety. Well, how better to disguise their true natures? How better to guide your way of thinking and to be right down there amongst you, suddenly running down the maze the wrong way, eating the wrong bit of cheese, unexpectedly dropping dead of myxomatosis. If it's finally calculated, the cumulative effect is enormous. Do not be alarmed. Just sit back. I must tell you that your planet and people have formed the matrix of an organic computer running a 10 million year research program into the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. You see, they really are particularly clever, hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings.
Attention, please. Slotty Bardfast. Would Slotty Bardfast and the visiting Earth creature please report to the works reception area immediately?
However...
Repeat, immediately.
However, in the field of management relations, they're absolutely shocking.
Really?
Yes, well, you see, every time they give me an order, I want to jump on a table and scream.
Yes, well, I can see that would be a problem.
There are, of course, many problems connected with life, of which some of the most pressing are: why are people born? Why do they die? And why do they spend so much of the intervening time wearing digital watches? Many millions of years ago, a race of hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings became so fed up with the constant bickering about the meaning of life that they decided to sit down and solve it once and for all. And to this end, they built themselves a stupendous supercomputer called Deep Thought that was so amazingly intelligent that even before its databanks had been connected up, it had started from first principles with "I think, therefore I am," and had got as far as deducing the existence of rice pudding and income tax before anyone managed to turn it off.
Do not be alarmed.
Only after Deep Thought has been programmed with all the knowledge in the universe do two men, selected of all their race, approach it.
What is this great task for which I, Deep Thought, the second greatest computer in the universe of time and space, have been called into existence?
Your task, oh computer.
No, wait a minute. Did he say second greatest?
Oh, Deep Thought, are you not, as we designed you to be, the greatest, the most powerful computer of all time?
I describe myself as the second greatest, and such I am.
Can we just clear this? Oh, Deep Thought, are you not a greater computer than the Milliard Gargantubrain, which can count all the atoms in a star in a millisecond?
A Milliard Gargantubrain? A mere abacus. Mention it not.
And are you not a greater analyst than the Googleplex Starthinker in the 7th galaxy of light and ingenuity?
Googleplex Starthinker? Molest me not with this pocket calculator stuff.
But are you not a more fiendish disputant than the great hyperlobic omnicognate Newton Wrangler of Ciceronicus 12?
The great omnicognate Newton Wrangler could talk all four legs of an Arcturan megadonkey, but only I could persuade it to go for a walk afterwards.
Then what is the problem?
There is no problem. I speak of none but the computer that is to come after me.
I think this is getting needlessly messianic.
A computer whose merest operational parameters I am not worthy to calculate, but which it will be my destiny eventually to design.
Look, can we get on and ask the question?
Oh, all right.
Oh, great computer. The task we have designed you to perform is this. We want you to tell us the answer.
The answer? The answer to what?
Life, the universe, everything.
Tricky.
But can you do it?
Yes, I can do it.
You mean there is an answer? A simple answer?
Yes. Life, the universe, and everything. There is an answer.
There is an answer, at
But
last.
I'll have to think about it.
We demand admission!
Now what?
You can't keep us out! We demand that you can't keep us out!
Who are you? Get out of here!
I am Magic Thighs.
And I demand that I am Broom Fondle.
It's all right. You don't need to demand that.
All right. I am Broom Fondle. And that is not a demand. That is a solid fact. What we demand is solid facts.
No, we don't. That's precisely what we don't demand.
We don't demand solid facts. What we demand is a total absence of solid facts. I demand that I may, or may not, be Broom Fondle. Who are you?
We are philosophers.
Though we may not be.
Yes, we are. We are most definitely here as representatives of the Amalgamated Union of Philosophers, Sages, Luminaries, and other professional thinking persons. And we want this machine off, and we want it off now.
We demand that you get rid of it.
Well, what's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is, mate. Demarcation, that's the problem.
We demand that demarcation may or may not be the problem.
You just let the machines get on with the adding up, and we'll take care of the eternal verities. Thank you very much. By law, the quest for ultimate truth is the inalienable prerogative of your working thinkers. Any machine actually goes and finds it, and we're straight out of a job, aren't we? I mean, what's the use of our sitting around half the night arguing whether they're made?
Or may not.
Be a god if this machine only goes and gives you his phone number in the morning.
That's right. We demand rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty.
Might I make an observation at this point?
You keep out of this, Metal Nose.
We demand that that machine not be allowed to think about this problem.
If I might make an observation, all I wanted to say was this. My circuits are now irrevocably committed to calculating the answer to the ultimate question of life, universe, and everything. But the program will take me a little while to run.
How long?
7.5
What, not till next week?
million years.
How long?
I said I'd have to think about it. And it occurs to me that running a program like this is bound to create considerable interest in the whole area of popular philosophy. Yes?
Keep talking.
Everyone's going to have his own theory about what answer I'm eventually going to come up with. And who better to capitalize on that media market than you yourselves? So long as you can keep violently disagreeing with each other and slagging each other off in the popular press, and so long as you have clever agents, you can keep yourselves on the gravy train for life.
Bloody hell. Now that's what I call thinking. Yeah, Broomfondle, how come we never think of things like that?
Dunno. I think our minds must be too highly trained, Magic Sight.
Yes, very salutary, but what about the Earth and mice and things?
All will become clear to you. Are you not anxious to hear what the computer had to say 7.5 million years later?
Yes. Quite.
Time is nearly upon us. 7.5 million years we've waited. 75,000 generations since our ancestors set this program in motion. And in all that time, we shall be the first to hear the computer speak. It's an awesome prospect. Deep Thought is about to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening. Deep Thought, do you have you?
An answer for you? Yes, I have.
There really is one?
There really is one.
To everything. The secret of the universe, the great question of life and everything?
Yes,
And are you ready to give it to us?
I am.
Now?
Now.
Wow.
Though I don't think you're going to like it.
must know it.
Now. All right.
Well?
You're really not going to like it.
Tell us.
The answer to the great question of life, the universe, and everything
is
42. It was a tough assignment.
42? Is that all you've got to show for 7.5 billion years' work?
I think the problem is that you've never actually known what the question is.
But it was the great question. The ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yes, but what actually is it?
Well, just everything. You know, everything.
Exactly. You have to know what the question actually is in order to know what the answer means.
Well, can you please tell us the question?
The ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything.
Yes.
Tricky.
But can you do it?
No. But I'll tell you who can.
Tell us. Tell us.
I speak of none but the computer that is to come after me. A computer whose merest operational parameters I am not worthy to calculate. Yet I will design it for you. A computer which can calculate the answer to the ultimate question. A computer of such infinite and subtle complexity that organic life itself shall form part of its operational matrix. And you yourselves shall take on new forms and go down into the computer to navigate its 10-million-year program. Yes, I shall design this computer for you. And I shall name it also unto you. And it shall be called the Earth.
Oh, what a dull name.
So there you have it. Deep Thought designed the Earth, we built it, and you lived on it.
And the Vogons destroyed it 5 minutes before the program was completed.
Yes, 10 million years of planning and work gone, just like that. Well, that's bureaucracy for you.
You know, this explains a lot. Because all my life, I've had this unaccountable feeling in my bones that something sinister was happening in the universe, and that no one would tell me what it was.
Oh, no, that's just perfectly normal paranoia. Everyone in the universe has that.
Everyone?
Everyone.
Ah, well, maybe that means something. That outside the universe we know, some alien intelligence is...
Maybe. Who cares? Perhaps I'm old and tired, but I always think the chances of finding out what really is going on are so absurdly remote that the only thing to do is to say, hang the sense of it and just keep yourself occupied. Look at me, I designed coastlines. I got an award for Norway. Where's the sense in that? None that I've been able to make out. I've been doing fjords all my life. For a fleeting moment, they become fashionable. I get a major award. In this replacement Earth we're doing, I've been given Africa to do, and of course I'm doing it with all fjords again because I happen to like them, and I'm old-fashioned enough to think they give a lovely baroque feel to a continent. And they tell me it's not equatorial enough. What does it matter? Science has achieved some wonderful things, I know, but I'd far rather be happy than right any day.
And are you?
No. That's where it all falls down, of course.
Pity. Sounded like rather a good lifestyle otherwise.
Attention, please. Would Slartybot Past and the visiting Earth creature please report at once to the reception area?
Now? To meet mice? You want me to meet mice now?
It won't be a great social occasion, I'm afraid.
Repeat at once.
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle.
I beg your pardon?
What? Oh, sorry. Fatuous thing to say, really.
I thought so.
It is, of course, well known that careless talk costs lives, but the full scale of the problem is not always appreciated. For instance, at the very moment that Arthur said,
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle,
a freak wormhole opened up in the fabric of the space-time continuum and carried his words far back in time across almost infinite reaches of space to a distant galaxy, where strange and warlike beings were poised on the brink of frightful interstellar battle. The two opposing leaders were meeting for the last time, and a dreadful silence fell across the conference table as the commander of the Vlahergs, resplendent in his red, jeweled battle shorts, gazed levelly at the Gugugvant leader squatting opposite him in a cloud of green, sweet-smelling steam, and with a million sleek and horribly beweaponed star cruisers poised to unleash electric death at his single word of command, challenged the vile creature to take back what it had said about his mother. The creature stirred in its sickly, broiling vapor, and at that very moment the words,
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle,
drifted across the table. Unfortunately, in the Vlaherg tongue, this was the most dreadful insult imaginable, and there was nothing for it but to fight terrible war. Eventually, of course, after their galaxy had been decimated over a few thousand years, it was realized that the whole thing had been a ghastly mistake. And so the two opposing battle fleets settled their few remaining differences in order to launch a joint attack on our galaxy, now positively identified as the source of the offending remark. For thousands more years, the mighty ships tore across the empty wastes of space, and finally dived screaming onto the planet Earth, where, due to a terrible miscalculation of scale, the entire battle fleet was accidentally swallowed by a small dog. Those who study the complex interplay of cause and effect in the history of the universe say that this sort of thing is going on all the time, but that they are powerless to prevent it. Meanwhile, Arthur Dent is about to be confronted with the terrible reality of all that he has so far learnt.
Arthur, you're safe!
Am I? Oh, good.
Hey. Oh.
Hey,
So, you wonder where he got you? I don't.
Come in. Food.
What happened to you?
Well, our hosts here have been, gassing us and zapping our minds and being generally weird, and are now giving us this amazingly keen meal to make it up to us. Here, have some vegan rhino cutlet. It's really excellent.
Hosts? I don't see any hosts. Ugh! There are mice on the table. Yes. Sorry, I wasn't quite prepared for...
let me introduce you. This is Benji Mouse. Hi there! And this is Frankie Mouse. Pleased to meet you.
Aren't they...
The mice I brought from Earth, yes.
Well...
try some grated Arturan Megadonkey.
Excuse me.
Yes, thank you, Slotty Bartfast. You may go.
What? Oh, very well, I'll go and get on with some of my fjords then.
Well, in fact, that won't be necessary. I don't think we'll be needing the new Earth any longer.
What? I've got 1,000 glaciers poised and ready to roll over Africa.
Thank you, Slotty Bartfast. That will be all.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, goodbye, Earthman. Sorry about your planet. Hope the lifestyle comes together.
Now to business!
To business.
To business? I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, I thought you were proposing a toast.
Well, Earth creature, we have, as you know, been running your planet for the last 10 million years in order to find this wretched thing called the ultimate question. Just as we were about to see the fruit of millions of years of work, you can't let your planet get blown up. Still, the best laid plans of man
best laid plans of mice and men.
What have men got to do with it? Listen, we've got to have that question.
Well, I'm sorry I can't help you. Shall we be off?
Hey, get this, will you, Earthman? You are a last-generation product of that computer matrix, right? I mean, you were there right up to the point where your planet got the finger, yeah?
So your brain was a part of the penultimate configuration of the computer program?
Of the what, eh?
Have a drink.
I will.
The mice seem to think that the question might be buried somewhere in your brain.
Is that what they think?
Yes, and they want to buy it off you.
What, the question?
Yeah.
No, your brain.
What? What?
What?
Yeah, well, that's all right, isn't it? Who'd miss it?
Thank you.
But I thought you said you could just read his brain electronically.
Oh, yes, but we'd have to get it out first. It's got to be prepared, treated, diced.
Thank you.
Well, it could always be replaced, you know, if you think it's important.
Yes, an electronic brain. Simple one should suffice.
Simple one?
Yeah. All you'd have to do is program it to say what, and I don't understand, and where's the T, and who knows the difference?
What?
See what I mean?
I'd notice the difference.
Well, no, you wouldn't. You'd be programmed not to.
Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry, Mice and Mace. I don't think we've got a deal.
Hey, let's not be hasty. I mean, think of the Spondulings.
Emergency, emergency. Hostile alien police in Section 8A. Defense stations, defense stations.
Galactic police! Tell them, Bats Dudes, we gotta go whoosh!
Creatures, where are you going?
Hey, out!
But the question to the answer of life, the universe, and everything. Think of the issues at stake.
Which way?
Anyway! This way!
Don't you understand the importance of this? Don't you understand what you're throwing away? Don't you understand how much money we can all make appearing on chat shows? Ha! All this fuss about 2 pounds of earthling brain.
Let's go.
Quick! Where are we going to go? Okay, press.
Which way do you reckon, Zephyr?
At a wild guess, I'd say this way. Yeah, this way.
Okay, Beagle Box, hold it right there. We got you covered.
Cops. Anyone else want to guess?
Yeah. This way.
We don't want to shoot you, Beeble Brox.
Suits me fine.
Back to the lift?
Back to the left.
Hey, they're shooting at us. I thought they said they didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I thought they said that.
Hey, I thought you said you didn't want to shoot us.
It isn't easy being a cop.
What did he say?
He said it isn't easy being a cop.
Well, that's his problem, isn't it?
I thought so, yeah.
Now, listen. I think we've enough problems of our own having you out there shooting at us, so if you'd like to avoid laying your personal problems on us as well, I think we'd all find it a lot easier to cope.
Now look, buddy. You're not dealing with any dumb, 2-bit trigger-pumping morons with low hairlines, little piggy eyes, and no conversation. We're a couple of caring, intelligent guys you'd probably really like if you met us socially. I don't go around gratuitously shooting people and then brag about it in seedy Space Rangers bars. I go around gratuitously shooting people, and then I agonize about it afterwards to my girlfriend.
And I write novels.
Yeah, he writes them in crayon.
Though I haven't had any published yet. So I better warn you. I'm in a mean mood.
Who are these guys?
I think I preferred it when they were shooting.
So are you gonna come quietly, or are you gonna let us blast you?
Which would you prefer?
You still there?
Yeah!
We didn't enjoy that at all.
We could tell.
Now listen to this, people, Brox. And you better listen good.
Why?
Because it's going to be very intelligent and quite interesting and humane.
Okay. Shoot. I mean, fire away.
Sorry, misunderstanding there.
People, Brox, either you all give yourselves up and let us beat you up a little, though not too much because we are firmly opposed to needless violence, or we blow up this entire planet. And one or two others that we noticed on the way over.
But that's crazy. You wouldn't do that.
Yes, we would. I think we would, wouldn't we?
Oh, yes, we have to. No question.
But why?
Tell her.
No, you tell her.
You tell her.
You tell her.
You tell her.
Oh,
You're the one that's... Will you just tell her?
Well, one of you tell her.
It isn't easy being a cop.
Listen, if we keep him talking, maybe that brains will seize up.
Shall we shoot them up again for a while?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Wait!
Well, that just about wraps it up for this lifetime, I guess.
Well, it's really been nice running into you again, Zayvon.
Zaglabo Astragot, Poultry Mansion, Banfrio.
What the hell are you doing? This is an ancient Beetlejuice death anthem. It means after this, things can only get better.
Zaglabo Astragot, Poultry Mansion, Banfrio.
Story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Many races believe that it was created by some sort of god, though the Jatravartid people of built Vogel 6 firmly believe that the entire universe was, in fact, sneezed out of the nose of a being called the Great Green Archelseizure. The Jatravartids, who live in perpetual fear of the time they call coming of the Great White Handkerchief, are small blue creatures with more than 50 arms each, who are therefore unique in being the only race in history to have invented the aerosol deodorant before the wheel. However, the Great Green Archelseizure theory was not widely accepted outside Wildviertel 6, and so one day a race of hyper-intelligent, pan-dimensional beings built themselves a gigantic supercomputer called Deep Thought to calculate once and for all the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, everything. For 7.5 million years, Deep Thought computed and eventually announced that the answer was in fact 42. And so another even bigger computer was built to find out what the actual question was. And this computer, which was called the Earth, was so large that it was frequently mistaken for a planet, particularly by these strange ape-like beings who roamed its surface, totally unaware that they were simply part of a gigantic computer program. And this is very odd, because without that fairly simple and obvious piece of knowledge, nothing that ever happened on Earth could possibly make the slightest bit of sense. However, at the critical moment of readout, the Earth was unexpectedly demolished. make way for a new hyperspace bypass, and the only native Earth people who survived the demolition are now being shot at behind the computer bank on the lost planet of Magrathea, along with their strange companions from Beetlejuice, who are currently singing a Beetlejuice death anthem on the very sensible grounds that they are about to die. This is what the computer bank is about to do. And the time at which it is going to do it is 4.2 seconds from now.
Good evening, madam. Gentlemen, do you have a reservation?
Reservation?
Yes, sir.
Do you need a reservation for the afterlife?
The afterlife.
Is this the afterlife? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, well, I think so. There's no way we can survive that blast in the Earth.
None at all.
I certainly didn't survive. I was a total goner. Wham, bang, and up was it.
Yeah, we didn't stand a chance. We must have been blown to bits. There was arms and legs everywhere.
Yeah. Would the lady and gentleman care to order a drink?
Instantaneously zoned into our component molecules. In fact, did you get the thing, the whole life flashing in front of you?
Yeah. Did you get that too? Your whole life?
Yeah. Mr. Assumabus mine, I spent a lot of time out of my skull. So here we are, lying dead. Standing dead in this desolate... Standing dead in this desolate...
5-star restaurant.
Odd, isn't it?
Nice day, Carlo.
You know, it's not so much an afterlife, more sort of après-vie.
Hey! Hang about, you dead guys. I think we're missing some ultra-important thing here. Something somebody said, and we missed it.
I said it was more sort of après-vie.
Don't wish you hadn't fought.
I said it was odd.
Shrewd but dull.
Pass!
Perhaps you would care to discuss the matter over drinks.
Drinks! Yeah, that was it! You see what you miss if you don't stay alert?
Indeed. If the lady and gentleman would like to order drinks before dinner.
Yeah, great.
And the universe will explode later for your pleasure.
Oh, wow! What sort of drinks do you serve in this place?
I think perhaps Sir has misunderstood me.
Oh, wow, I hope not.
It is not unusual for our customers to be a little disorientated by the time journey, so if I might suggest...
What time journey? This isn't the afterlife?
Afterlife. No, sir.
We're not dead.
Sir is most evidently alive, otherwise I would not attempt to serve, sir.
Hey, I've sussed it. This must be Millie Ways.
Millie Ways!
Yes, this is Millie Ways.
Millie Ways?
The restaurant at the end of the universe.
The end of what?
The universe.
When did that end?
In just a few minutes, sir. Now, if you will order drinks, I will show you to your table in the main part of the restaurant.
I suppose there's no chance of a cup of tea.
No.
The restaurant at the end of the universe is one of the most extraordinary adventures in the entire history of catering. A vast time bubble has been projected into the far future to the precise moment of the end of the universe. You can arrive for any sitting you like without prior reservation because you can book retrospectively in advance, as it were, when you return to your own time. You can visit it as many times as you like and be sure of never meeting yourself because of the embarrassment this usually causes. All you have to do is deposit 1 penny in a savings account in your own area, and when you arrive at the end of time, the operation of compound interest means that the fabulous cost of your meal has been paid for. This is all, of course, impossible. which is why the advertising executives of the star system of Bastablon came up with this slogan. If you've done 6 impossible things this morning, why not round it off with breakfast at Millyway's, the restaurant at the end of the universe?
This way, please.
Louise. Incredible. The people. The things. The things are also people. The people. The also people.
Lights.
The food.
Clothes. The clothes.
Yeah, the clothes, yeah. Yeah, the end of the universe is very popular. People like to dress up for it. It gives it a sense of occasion.
Hey, everybody's here. You know everybody who was anybody. Hi, guys. How did you do?
Hey, Zaphod, there's an old mate of mine. Look, see. It's Hot Black Desiato. See? The big guy in the platinum suit.
Yeah. Wow, did he ever make it mega big? Wow, bigger than the biggest thing ever. Other than me.
Who is he?
Hot Black Desiato? You never heard of Disaster Area?
No.
The biggest, the loudest, the richest rock band in the history of
history itself?
Oh.
Here we are at the end of the universe. You haven't even lived yet. Hey, did you miss out? Hey, waiter. Bring me volume 3 of the wine list.
Hey, Hot Black. How you doing? Great to see you, big boy. How's the noise? You are looking great. Really, very, very fat and unwell. Amazing. Remember the old days? Wow, we used to hang out. The Bistro, the Evil Drone Boozerama, the Slim's Throat Emporium. Great days, huh? And when we were hungry, we used to pose as health inspectors and go around confiscating meals and drinks and get food poisoning. And you used to be up all night trying to write songs, and we all hated them. And you said you didn't care. We said we did because we hated him so much. And you said you didn't want to be a star because you despised the star system. And we said we didn't think you had the option. Well, what do you do now? You buy star systems. Here is a guy who buys star systems. What's that number you do? That really huge one. How does it go? Da, 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 something. And in the stage act, it ends with this ship crashing right into the sun. Oh, and you actually do it. I mean, ship, sun, bang! I mean, forget lasers. You guys are into solar flares and real sunburn and terrible songs. Yeah, let's have a drink. Yeah. Hot Black.
Kid, beat it.
Who are you?
I'm the guy that's telling you to beat it before it gets beaten for you.
Now listen. I am one of Hot Black's oldest friends, and I
am Mr. Desiato's bodyguard, and I'm responsible for his body, and I am not responsible for yours. So take it away before it gets damaged.
Wait a minute.
No minutes. No wait. Mr. Desiato speaks to no one.
I'm sure we're gonna let him speak for himself.
He speaks to no one.
What's the matter?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy notes that Disaster Area, a plutonium rock band from the Gagralaka mine zones, are generally held to be not only the loudest rock band in the galaxy, but in fact the loudest noise of any kind at all. Regular concert-goers judge that the best sound balance is usually to be heard from within large concrete bunkers some 37 miles from the stage, whilst the musicians themselves play their instruments by remote control from a heavily insulated spaceship which stays in orbit around the planet, or more frequently, round a completely different planet. Their songs are, on the whole, very simple, and mostly follow the familiar theme of boy being meets girl being beneath a silvery moon, which then explodes for no adequately explored reason. Many worlds have now banned their act altogether, sometimes for artistic reasons, but most commonly because the band's public address system contravenes many local strategic arms limitations treaties. This has not, however, stopped their earnings pushing back the boundaries of pure hypermathematics, and their chief research accountant has recently been appointed Professor of Neomathematics at Maximegalon for both his general and special theories of disaster area tax returns, in which he proves that the whole fabric of the space-time continuum is not merely curved, it is in fact totally bent.
Oh, hi there, Ford. Did you talk to your big noise friend?
Hot Black? Yeah, I sort of spoke to him, yeah.
Oh, what did he say?
Not a lot. He's,
Yeah?
spending a year dead for tax reasons.
Oh, yeah? Neat.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the universe as we know it has been in existence for 170,000 million billion years and will be ending in a little over 10 minutes' time. So, welcome one and all to Many Ways, the restaurant at the end of the universe. I am your host this evening, Max Corley, and I have come straight from the very, very other end of time where I've been hosting a show at the Big Bang Burger Bar, where we had a very exciting evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be with you right through this tremendous, historic occasion, the end of history itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, take your places at table. The candles are lit, the band is playing, and as the force-shielded dome above us slides apart, revealing a dark and sullen sky, hung with the ancient light of livid, swollen stars, I can see that we are in for a fabulous evening's apocalypse.
Would you all like to see the menu, or would you care to meet the dish of the day?
Meat?
What is it?
It's an Amygdalian major cow. I'll bring him over.
Okay, we'll meet the meat. That's cool.
Good evening, madame and gentlemen. I am the main dish of the day. May I interest you in parts of my body?
Huh?
Something off my shoulder, perhaps, raised in a little white wine sauce.
Your shoulder?
Well, naturally mine, sir. Nobody else's is mine to offer. The rump is very good, sir. I have been exercising and eating plenty of grain, so there's a lot of good meat there. Or a casserole of meat, perhaps.
You mean this animal actually wants us to eat it?
Me? I don't mean anything.
I think it's horrible. It's the most revolting thing I've ever heard.
Hey, what's the problem, Earthman?
I don't want to eat an animal that's lying there inviting me to. I think it's heartless.
It's better than eating an animal that doesn't want to be eaten.
That's not the point. Well, maybe it is the point. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I'll have a green salad.
May I urge you, sir, to consider my liver? It must be very rich and tender by now. I have been force-feeding myself for months.
Green salad, please.
A green salad.
Is there any reason why I shouldn't have a green salad?
I know many vegetables that are very clear on that point, sir, which is why it was decided to cut through the whole tangled problem by breeding an animal that actually wanted to be eaten and was capable of saying so, clearly and distinctly. And here I am.
Glass of water?
Hey, listen, we want to eat. You know, we don't want to make a meal of the issues. We'll have 4 rare steaks and hurry, please.
Very wise choice, sir. Very good. I'll just nip off and shoot myself.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, sir. I'll be very humane.
Hey, what's eating you, Earthman?
Is everybody having one last wonderful time? And now, as the photon storms gather in swirling clouds around us, preparing to tear apart the last of the red-hot suns, I hope you will all settle back and enjoy with me what I know you will find a tremendously exciting and terminal experience. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing penultimate about this one. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is the proverbial it. After this, there is void, emptiness, oblivion, absolute nothing. Except, of course, for the sweet trolley and our fine selection of Aldebaran liqueurs. And for once, ladies and gentlemen, there is no need to worry about having a hangover in the mornings, for there will be no more mornings. And now, at the risk of putting a damper on this wonderful atmosphere of doom and futility here, I'd like to welcome a few parties. Now, do we have a party from the Zancel Quasia Flammarian Bridge Club from beyond the Vort Void of Quan? Last bids now, lads. And no cheating, this is a very solemn moment. And a party of minor deities from the halls of Asgard. And a party of young conservatives from Sirius B. This is all your fault, of course. And lastly, a party of devout believers from the Church of the Second Coming of the Great Prophet Zod. Still waiting for the second coming. Well, fellas, let's hope he hurries. He's got 8 minutes left. No, but seriously, no offense, man. I know one shouldn't make fun of deeply held beliefs, so I think a great big hand for the Great Prophet Zod. Wherever he's got to. No, it's marvelous to see so many of you here tonight because, no, isn't it though? Because I know so many of you come time and time again to watch this final end of everything, which I think is really wonderful, and then to return home to your own eras and raise families and strive for new and better societies and fight terrible wars for what you know is right. It gives one real hope for the whole future of lifetime. Except, of course, we know it hasn't got one.
Excuse me, sir.
No. Who, me?
Mr. Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Yeah?
There is a phone call for you, sir.
Hey, what?
Here.
Hey, but who knows where I am?
Zaphod, maybe it's the Galactic Police. Could they have traced you here?
You mean they want to arrest me over the phone? Could be a pretty dangerous dude when I'm caught.
Yeah. You go to pieces so fast people get hit by the shrapnel.
Hey, what is this? Judgment Day?
Oh, do we get to see that as well? Terrific.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry. So who's the cat on the phone? Pass the wine, Ford.
I am not personally acquainted with the metal gentleman in question, sir.
Metal?
But I am informed that he's been awaiting your return for a considerable number of millennia. It seems, sir, that you left here somewhat precipitately.
Hey, left here? We've only just arrived.
Indeed, sir. But before you arrived here, you left.
You're saying that before we arrived here, we left here?
That is what I said, sir.
Put your analyst on danger money, baby. No.
Wait a minute. Where exactly is here?
The planet Magrathea, sir.
Ah, we just left then. We're at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Precisely, sir. The one was constructed on the ruins of the other.
Ah, I see. So you mean we've traveled in time, but not in space?
Listen, you semi-evolved simian, go climb a tree, will you?
Don't bang our heads together, Four Eyes.
No. Your monkey has got it right. You jumped forward many millions of years in time whilst retaining the same position in space. Your friend has been awaiting you in the meantime.
Marvin! It must be Marvin.
A paranoid android.
Space cookies! Hand me the rap rod plate, Captain.
I beg your pardon, sir.
The phone, waiter. Gee, you guys are so unhip, it's a wonder your bums don't fall off.
The phone, sir.
Hi there, Marvin, kid. How you doing?
I think you ought to know I'm feeling very depressed.
Well, yeah, we're having a great time. You know, wine, food, a little personal abuse, and the universe going through. Where can we find you, Marvin?
You don't have to pretend to be interested in me, you know. I know perfectly well I'm only a menial robot.
Yeah, but where are you?
Reverse primary thrust, Marvin, that's what they say to me. Open airlock number 3, Marvin. Marvin, can you pick up that piece of paper? Here I am, brain the size of a...
Yeah, Marvin.
But I'm quite used to being humiliated. I can even go and stick my head in a bucket of water if you like. Would you like me to stick my head in a bucket of water?
Marvin, yeah,
What's he saying, Zephyr?
nothing. He just phoned up to wash his head of this. Marvin, will you please tell us where you are?
I'm in the car park.
What are you doing in the car park?
Parking cars. What else does one do in a car park?
Well, yeah, okay. Stay there. I'll be down in a minute.
That takes two.
Come on, you guys, let's go. Marvin's down in the car park.
The car park? What's he doing there?
He's parking cars. What else, dum-dum? Come on, let's go.
Now, an interesting effect to watch for is in the upper left-hand quadrant of the sky, where you can clearly see the star system of Hastromil boiling away into the ultraviolet. Anyone here from Hastromil? Well, it's too late to worry about whether you left the gas on at home.
There he is, Marvin!
Hey, Marvin, kid, are we pleased to see you?
No, you're not. No one ever is.
Suit yourself.
No, Marvin, really, we are.
Right.
Hanging around waiting for us all this time.
The first 10 million years were the worst. And the second 10 million, they were the worst too. The third 10 million I didn't enjoy at all. After that, I went into a bit of a decline.
Poor old Marvin.
It's the people you meet in this job who really get you down. The best conversation I had was over 34 million years ago.
Oh, dear.
And that was with a coffee machine.
Hey, Safe. Look at this baby. Tangerine star buggy, black sunbuster.
Hey, get this number. Multi-cluster quark drive with Perspilax running boards. Hey, this is going to be a nice little lyrical custom job.
Hey, I was passed by one of these mothers up by the Axel Nebula. I was going flat out, and this thing just strolled past me. The star drive hardly ticked over. It was incredible.
Much.
Yeah, 10 seconds later, it smashed straight into the third moon of Jaguar Beat. A great-looking ship. Looks like a fish. Moves like a fish. Steers like a cow.
Really is bad for the eyes.
But it's so black, you can hardly make out its shape. It just falls into it.
Hey, feel the surface there. Hey, you can't. See, it's just totally frictionless. This must be one mother of a new her.
You reckon we should just stroll off with it? Do you think we should?
That's right, let's do it. Okay. Finish soon. In a few seconds, the universe will end. All those captain creeps will come pouring down here to find their Bourge-mobiles.
Hey, Safe.
Yeah.
How do you get into it?
Just don't spoil a beautiful idea, will you?
Maybe the robot can figure something out.
Yeah. Hey, Marvin! Come on over. We've got a job for you.
I won't enjoy it.
Yes, you will. There's a whole new life stretching out in front of you.
Oh, not enough.
Marvin, will you shut up and listen? This time there's going to be excitement and adventure and really wild things.
Sounds awful.
Well, Marvin!
I
All I'm trying to say...
you want me to help you to get into this fish.
Marvin,
and
will you just listen?
the door for you.
What? Yeah.
Well, I wish you'd just tell me rather than try to engage my enthusiasm because I haven't got one. Abracadiodular servo systems.
How do you do that, Marvin?
Oh, didn't I tell you I've got a brain the size of a planet?
Hey, Safe. Come and have a look at this. So black. Everything in it is just totally black.
Well, this is very pretty, I must say.
Yeah, I like a change of scene.
Hey, this is one ace wonderful ship, hey, Ford.
Yeah. Pity it doesn't seem to work, innit? Oh, well.
Hey, where you going?
To find one that does work. A ship with, say, a single red button would suit me.
Hey, listen, Ford, this is the most stylish ship I've ever been in, right? We are gonna stay and make it work, okay?
You make it work.
Yeah, I can make any ship work. You hear that ship? Hey, I did it! Okay, guys, we're on our way.
Where?
Who cares where? We just go.
begin to tremble. Nature collapses into the screaming void. In 15 seconds' time, the universe itself will be at an end. See, where the light of infinity bursts in upon us! What's happening? Who's this? I don't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, big hand, please, for the great prophet Zarquan!
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I had a terrible time, all sorts of things cropping up at the last moment. How are we for time?
One of the major selling points of that wholly remarkable book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, apart from its relative cheapness and the fact that it has the words "Don't Panic" written in large, friendly letters on the cover, is its compendious and occasionally accurate glossary. Its simplistic style is partly explained by the fact that its editor, having to meet a publishing deadline, copied the information off the back of a packet of breakfast cereal, hastily embroidering it with a few footnotes in order to avoid prosecution under the incomprehensibly tortuous galactic copyright laws. It is interesting to note that a later and wilier editor sent the book backwards in time through a temporal warp and then successfully sued the breakfast cereal company for infringement of the same laws. Here's a sample in both headings and footnotes. The universe. Some information to help you live in it. 1. Area. Infinite. 2. Population. None. It is known that there are an infinite number of worlds, but that not every one of them is inhabited. Therefore, there must be a finite number of inhabited worlds. Any finite number divided by infinity is as near to nothing as makes no odds. So if every planet in the universe has a population of 0, then the entire population of the universe must also be 0. And any people you may meet from time to time are merely the products of a deranged imagination. 3. Monetary units. None. In fact, there are 3 freely convertible currencies in the galaxy, but the Altarian dollar has recently collapsed. The Flanian pobble bead is only exchangeable for other Flanian pobble beads, and the Triganic pew doesn't really count as money. Its exchange rate of 8 ningies to 1 pew is simple, but since a ningi is a triangular rubber coin 6,800 miles along each side, no one has ever collected enough to own 1 pew. Ningies are not negotiable currency because the galactic banks refuse to deal in fiddling small change. From this basic premise, it is very simple to prove that the galactic banks are also the product of a deranged imagination. 4. Sex. None. Well, in fact, there is an awful lot of this, largely because of the total lack of money, trade, banks, or anything else that might keep all the non-existent people of the universe occupied. However, it's not worth embarking on a long discussion of it now, because it really is terribly complicated.
Basically, what you're trying to tell me is the ship is out of control.
It's the weird color scheme that freaks me. Every time you try to operate one of these weird black controls, which are labeled in black on a black background, a small black light lights up black to let you know you've done it. Hey, what is this, some kind of galactic hyperhearse?
Maybe it was designed by somebody with eyes that respond to different wavelengths.
Or didn't have much imagination.
Perhaps he was feeling very depressed.
It's beginning to make me feel spacey.
Time, Sid. We're going backwards through time.
Oh, no, I think I really am going to be ill.
Hey, go ahead. We could do with a little color about the place.
Oh, that's better. Have you managed to make sense of the controls?
No, we just don't fiddle with it.
Okay, Hot Black. The black ship's ready to crash into the sun, Captain. Time to get there ourselves.
civilization passes through three distinct and recognizable phases, those of survival, inquiry, and sophistication. For instance, the first phase is characterized by the question, how can we eat? The second by the question, why do we eat? The third by the question, where should we have lunch? Though it will usually take a large civilization many thousands of years to pass through the how, why, and where phases, small social groupings under stressful conditions can pass through these phases with extreme rapidity. Thus,
how are we doing?
Where are we going?
Why not?
Shut up. Excitement and adventure, really wild things.
Excitement and adventure and really wild things have been dogging Arthur Dent now for some days. He has, for instance, had his planet demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass, and has thereafter been confronted with the disconcerting knowledge that the Earth was, in any case, not what it appeared, but was, in fact, a gigantic supercomputer designed to calculate the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, the answer to which is now known to be 42. He and his companions have, furthermore, been blasted far forward in time to the restaurant at the end of the universe, from which they are currently returning in a ship which could not, in honesty, be said to belong to them. Can they now relax for a while and take stock? No. The ship does, in fact, belong to Disaster Area, a plutonium rock band whose stage act traditionally ends with a black stunt ship on automatic pilot crashing into the heart of a nearby sun. Of this, however, Arthur Dent and his companions are totally unaware. They decide to relax for a while and take stock.
Listen, Earthman, you've got a job to do, right? The question to the ultimate answer, right? There's a lot of loot tied up in that head thing of yours.
Yes, but where do we start? The ultimate answer's 42. What's the question? How should I know? Could be anything. I mean, what's 6 times 7?
42.
Yes, I know that. Just saying it could be anything. Why ask me?
Because you were the last one. You were there when your planet did the big firework.
I do wish you'd stop saying that.
Ah, shut up, Marvin. This is organism talk.
It's printed in the Earthman's brainwave pattern, but I don't suppose you'll be very interested in knowing that.
You mean you can see into my mind?
Yes.
And?
It amazes me how you manage to live in anything that small.
Ah, abuse.
Yes.
No, Remy, he's only making it up.
Making it up? Why should I want to make anything up? Life's bad enough as it is without wanting to invent any more.
Marvin, if you knew all along, why didn't you tell us?
You didn't ask.
We're asking you now, Metal Man. What's the question?
The ultimate question.
Yeah.
Of life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah.
To which the answer is 42.
Yeah, come on, it's Philippines!
I can tell you're not really interested.
Will you just tell us, you motorized maniac? I think this ship has a far better idea of where it's going than we do.
I could tell you weren't really interested.
I wonder who this ship belongs to.
Me.
No, who it really belongs to.
Really me. Property is theft, right? Therefore, theft is property. Therefore, this ship is mine.
Yeah, tell the ship that.
Ship, this is your new owner speaking to you.
Okay, Channel 9 on power. Testing Channel 15. Channel 15, A-OK. The black ship is now in pre-sundial position. Put it under control of central stage coordination. Ship locked into stage computer A-OK. Stand by for sundive.
Turn it off. Sundive? What does sundive mean?
It means the ship is going to dive into the sun. Sun dive. It's very simple to understand. What do you expect if you steal Disaster Area's stunt ship?
Hey, Marvin. I mean, what makes you think this is Disaster Area's stunt ship?
Simple. I parked it for them.
And why? Why didn't you tell us?
You said you wanted excitement and adventure, a really wild thing.
This is awful.
That's what I said.
weather for the concert this afternoon. I'm standing here in the middle of the stage of the Cacatoon Desert, and with the aid of hyperbinocular glasses, I can just about make out the huge audience cowering there on the horizon all around us. Behind me, the huge speaker stacks rise like a sheer cliff face, and high above me, the sun is shining away and doesn't know what's gonna hit it. The environmentalist lobby, however, do know what's gonna hit it and claim the concert will cause earthquakes, tidal waves, hurricanes, irreparable damage to the atmosphere, and all the usual things environmentalists usually go on about. But I've just had a report that a representative of disaster area met with the environmentalists this morning and had them all shot. So now nothing stands in the way of the concert going ahead this afternoon on this beautiful sunny day.
You know what I'm thinking?
I think so.
Tell me what you think I'm thinking.
I think it's somebody's trying to get off the ship.
I think you're right.
I think you're right.
How? Well, I'm thinking.
So this is it? We're going to die?
I wish you'd stop saying that.
One of the things that Fort Prefect had always found hardest to understand about human beings was their habit of continually stating and restating the very, very obvious, as in, it's a nice day, or you're very tall, or so this is it, we're going to die. At first, Ford had formed a theory to account for this rather strange behavior. If human beings don't keep exercising their lips, he thought, their mouths probably seize up. After a while, he abandoned this theory in favor of a new one. If they don't keep exercising their lips, their brains start working. In fact, this second theory is more literally true of the Belcerebon people of Kappa. The Belcerebons used to cause great resentment and insecurity amongst neighboring races by being one of the most enlightened, accomplished, and above all, quiet civilizations in the galaxy. As a punishment for this behavior, which was held to be intrinsically self-righteous and provocative, a galactic tribunal inflicted on them that most cruel of all social diseases, telepathy. Now, in order to prevent themselves broadcasting every slightest thought that crosses their minds to anyone within a 5-mile radius, they have to talk loudly and continuously about the weather, the lakes and plains, the match this afternoon, and what a noisy place Cacatoon has suddenly become. Another method of temporarily blocking out their minds is to play host to a disaster area concert.
Capsules are there? None. Counted them?
Twice. Raised the stage crew on the patio?
Yeah. I said there was a whole bunch of people on board.
And they said?
Hi there.
You tell them who you were?
Yeah. They said it was a great honor.
What does teleport mean?
What did you say?
Probably the wrong moment.
Where does it say teleport?
Well, here, under this sign that says out of order. There.
Hell's donkeys!
It seems okay. It's just the automatic guidance. Well, no, wherever it is we're going system that's cocked up.
Who cares where we go? Let's just go.
No, someone would have to stay behind and operate it manually. Whoever it was wouldn't
escape.
Hey, Marvin kid. How you doing?
Very badly, I suspect.
How would you like to,
lay down my life selflessly for you? Make the ultimate sacrifice. Consign my brain, which is the size of a planet, to death in the heart of a blazing sun, so that you can all pursue your futile little life.
Yeah. Nothing personal. You don't really count as a person, do you, kid?
All right.
Come on, guys!
You better all get into the teleport.
Hey, come on, Marvin, you stupid tin can! Shift it! Oh, we really appreciate this.
I suppose some people might have expected better treatment after having waited for 576,000 million years in a car park, but no. I may just be a menial robot, but I'm far too intelligent to expect anyone to think of me for a moment. Far too intelligent. In fact, I'm so intelligent I've probably got time to go through the 5.
Safe? Trillian? Where'd they go to?
I don't know. Well, there's no reason why we should all end up in the same place. Ah, well.
Trillian?
That could be anywhere. So could we for that matter.
Safe on?
What's that? Feet. Let's move.
That's the way they're coming from. No, that's the way they're coming from.
You're right.
This way. What's so great about dead people?
I don't know. What is so great about dead? Hey, look, Matt.
What's it say?
Gold Finch Park, ship B07, telephone sanitizer, 7 class. And a serial number.
Telephone sanitizer? A dead telephone sanitizer?
Best kind.
What's he doing here?
Not a lot.
Well, this one's a hairdresser.
And this one's an advertising account executive.
Here's a second-hand car salesman, 3rd class. Ooh. Are you sure these are coffins? They're terribly cold.
All right. Put your hands up and turn around slowly.
Why isn't anyone ever pleased to see us?
You're my prisoners.
Right.
Move! 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 Left, right, left, right, left, right. Keep in line. Left, right, left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Captain. Here's number 3.
I just had a sort of report thingy from number 1. Oh, dear. He was shouting something or other about having found some prisoners.
Oh, well, perhaps it'll keep him happy for a bit. He's always wanted some.
Captain, sir.
Oh, hello, number 1. Having a nice day.
I brought you the prisoners I located in Freezer Base 7, sir.
Hello. Hello. Excuse me not getting up, just having a quick bath. Oh, well, gin and tonics all round, then. Look in the fridge there, number 3.
Certainly, sir.
Don't you want to interrogate the prisoners, sir?
Why on Golga Frincham should I want to do that?
Get information from them, sir. Find out why they came here, sir.
No. They just dropped in for a quick gin and tonic, don't you?
Sir, they're my prisoners. Can't I just interrogate them a little bit?
Ask them what they want to do.
Thank you, sir. All right. You scum. You vermin.
Steady on, number 1.
Well, the gin and tonic sounds very nice to me, Arthur.
Yes. With ice or without?
With, please.
Lemon?
Yeah. And do you have any of those other biscuits? Cheese ones?
I'm asking questions.
Number one, push off, will you? There's a good fellow. I'm trying to take a relaxing bath.
May I respectfully remind you that you have now been in that bath for over 3 years?
Yes? Well, one needs to relax a lot in a job like that.
Oh, yes, can I just ask you what your job is, actually?
Your
Thanks. Because I couldn't help but noticing, you know, the bodies.
Bodies?
Yeah, all those dead telephone sanitizers, account executives, you know, in the hole.
They're not dead. Good Lord, no. They're just frozen. Yes, they're going to be revived.
You mean you've got a hole full of frozen hairdressers?
Oh, yes, millions. Hairdressers, tired TV producers, insurance salesmen, personnel officers,
security guards, public relations executives,
management consultants. We're going to colonize another planet.
What?
Exciting, isn't it?
That lot?
Don't misunderstand me. We're just one of the ships in the yard. We're the BR, see? Excuse me, I wonder, will you be kind enough to run a little more hot water for me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks. Whew.
What's a BR?
BR? See, what happened was that our planet was doomed. Yes. So everybody said, let's pack the whole population into some giant spaceships and settle on another planet.
You mean a less doomed one?
Precisely. So it was decided to build 3 gigantic ships, 3 gigantic arcs in space. Because the idea was that into the first ship, the A ship, would go all the brilliant leaders, the scientists, the great artists, all the achievers. And then into the third ship, the C ship, would go all the people who do the actual work, who make things happen. Then into the B ship, that's us, of course, would go everyone else. Middleman and, of course, Centaur.
What was wrong with your planet?
Well, it was doomed, as I said. Apparently, it was going to blow up or crash into the sun or some such thing.
That's not what I was told. My commanding officer swore blind that the entire planet was about to be eaten by an enormous mutant star goat.
Oh, really?
Yes. He said how lucky I was to be going off in the first ship.
But they made sure they sent all you lot off first, anyway.
Oh, yes. And everyone said, very nice, I thought, how important it was for morale to feel that they were arriving on another planet where you could be sure of getting a haircut and wear the food.
Well, I can see that And the rest of the ships followed on after you, didn't they?
It's funny that you should mention that, because curiously enough, we haven't heard a peep out of them since we left 5 years ago. Yet they must be behind us somewhere.
Yes. Yes, of course, they're all eaten by
the goat. Funny. Now that I come to tell the story to someone else, huh? Don't you find it's a bit odd, number 3?
Well,
Yes, it is a bit odd, though, isn't it? Yes, it's odd.
Yes, well, I can see you've all got a lot you want to talk about, so, thanks for the drink. And if you could sort of drop us off at the nearest
Oh, I'm afraid that's a little difficult, you see. Our trajectory thingy was preset before we left Golga Fringe, and I think actually it was partly due to the fact that I'm not really very good at figures.
You mean we're stuck here on this ship? When are you going to arrive at this planet you're meant to be colonizing?
We're nearly there. Nearly there. I should be out of this bath, in fact. I don't know, though, why stop just when I'm enjoying it.
We are about to land.
Well, not exactly land, no. I think, as far as I remember, we were programmed to crash on it.
Crash?
There was some reason for it, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was now.
You're all a lot of useless bloody loonies!
Yes, that was it. That was the reason.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has this to say about the planet of Golga Friendship. It is a planet with an ancient and mysterious history, in which the most mysterious figures are those of the great circling poets of Ariel. It was, of course, a descendant of these eccentric poets who invented these spurious tales of impending doom, which enabled the people of Golga Friendship to rid themselves of the useless third of their population. The other two-thirds stayed at home and lived full, rich and happy lives until they were all suddenly wiped out by a virulent disease contracted from a dirty telephone. Meanwhile, the remaining useless third have crash-landed into the prehistoric dawn of a small blue-green planet at the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy.
It's odd, isn't it?
With them are Arthur Dent and Ford Prefect. They, too, have been traveling widely in distant lands. Something is bothering them.
Very, very odd. There is one way to find out, of course.
What do you mean by going to... Yes. All right.
I said it was odd.
Yes, I remember you saying how odd you thought it was. I can hardly believe it.
I find it very easy to believe things.
I wonder how the Golga Fringes are doing.
Do you?
Mr. Chairman, I wonder if you could just need to start.
All right.
I'm sure we ought to start.
All right. All right, I'd like to call this meeting some sort of order, if that's at all possible.
Fancy a light trim, sir?
Not now, I'm in the bath.
Anyone else like one?
Please. We're trying to have a meeting. Now, if you'd all care to look at the agenda... Hello? What?
Hello? Who's that?
Never me. I've made a discovery. I'd like to tell you about it.
Is it on the agenda?
Agenda?
I'm sorry, but speaking as a fully trained management consultant, I must insist on the importance of the committee structure.
On a prehistoric planet?
Address the chair.
It wasn't a chair, it was only a rock.
Well, call it a chair.
Why not call it a rock?
You two, shut up. I want to table a motion.
Boulder emotion, you mean?
Thank you, wait.
Order.
Look, if I could just say...
Order.
I would like to call to order the 573rd meeting of the Colonization Committee of the planet of Mercury.
Ah, this is futile. 573 committee meetings. You haven't even discovered fire yet.
If you would care to look at the agenda, you will see that we're having a report from the Hairdressers Fire Development Subcommittee today.
That's me.
That's you. What have you done?
Well, they gave me a couple of sticks.
Yes? Curly. You're going to die out, you know that, don't you?
You are obviously being totally naive about that. Look, when you've been in marketing as long as I have, you'll know that before any new product can be developed, it has to be properly researched. I mean, we've got to find out what people want from fire. You know, how they relate to its image.
Stick it up your nose.
Which is precisely the kind of thing we need to know. I mean, do people want fire that can be fitted nasally?
And the wheel. What about this wheel thing? They say it's fascinating.
Well, we are having a little difficulty there.
Difficulty? It's the single simplest machine in the entire universe.
All right, Mr. Wise Guy, you're so clever. You tell us what color it should be.
Oh, mighty Zakwa. Has no one done anything yet?
Yes.
I have declared war on the next continent.
Declared war? There's no one even living there.
Yes, but there will be one day. So we've left a sort of open-ended ultimatum.
What?
Blown up a few military installations.
Military installations, number 2?
Yes, sir. Well, potential military installations. All right, trees. And we interrogated a gazelle.
Yes! And one of our surviving film producers rescued a camera from the wreckage. He wants to make a, documentary about you, Captain.
That's awfully nice.
Yeah, he's got a really strong angle on it. You know, the burden of responsibility, the loneliness of command.
The stress there. After all, one's never alone with a crocodile.
If we could, for a moment, move on to the subject of fiscal policy.
Fiscal policy? How can you have money if none of you actually produces anything? It doesn't grow on trees, you know.
But since we decided a few weeks ago to adopt the leaf as legal tender, we have all, of course, become immensely rich. But we have run into a small inflation problem owing to the high level of leaf availability, which means that I gather the current going rate is something like 3 major deciduous forests buying 1 ship's peanut. So in order to obviate this problem and effectively revalue the leaf, we've decided on an extensive campaign of defoliation and burn down all the forests. I think that's a sensible move, don't you?
Fiscal issue. Fiscal issue.
You're mad. You know that, don't you?
Is it perhaps appropriate to inquire what you have been doing all this time? I mean, you and that other interloper have been missing for months.
We've been traveling. We've, trying to find out something about this world.
That does not sound very productive to me.
No?
No.
Well, have I got news for you? It doesn't matter a pair of fetid dingoes' kidneys what you do from now on. Burn down the forests. Anything. It won't make a scrap of difference. You see, I've seen the future. 2 million years you've got, and that's it. At the end of that time, your race will be dead, gone, good riddance. You know that? 2 million years.
Strange chap. What about this documentary thing?
Just time for another bath. Spun somebody?
No, honestly, no. Y scores 5, you see, and it's on a triple word score. I'm sorry, I explained the rules. No, please. Put down the jawbone. All right, we'll start again. Only please try and concentrate this time.
Hi, Arthur. What you doing?
I'm trying to teach the cavemen to play Scrabble. It's uphill work. The only word they know is and they don't know how to spell it.
What's the point in that?
We've got to make them evolve. Can you imagine what a world would be like descended from those cretins over there?
Imagine we don't have to. We've seen it.
No, but honestly.
We've seen it. There's no escape.
But did you tell them what we discovered? Norway's not marked our signature on the glacier.
What's the point? What did it mean to them?
Mean? It means that this is the Earth, my home. It's where I was born.
Was?
All right, will do.
In 2 million years' time, you tell them that, see what they say. They'll chase you off the tree and set fire to it. Listen, Arthur, face it. Those Zebes over there, your ancestors, not the king. Put the scrabble board away. It's not going to save the human race, because this isn't it. The human race is currently standing around a bath over there making documentaries about themselves.
But surely we can do something.
No, nothing. It's all been done. We've seen it. We know the history of the Earth, to know that in 2 million years' time it gets demolished by the Vogons to make way for a hyperspace bypass. You can't change anything.
And all because the vulgar Frenchians arrived here on their BERs.
Oh, well.
Poor bloody caveman. It's all been a bit of a waste of time for you, hasn't it? Out-evolved by a telephone sanitizer.
He's pointing at the Scrabble board.
No, he's probably spelled library again with 1 R.
No, he hasn't.
No, look! The experiment. 42.
Deep Thought's answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and whatever it was.
Everything.
Everything.
42.
Of course. The experiment to find the question, that answer, is going on all around us. Here. The earth, the ground, the trees, the water, the rocks, the cavemen.
Terrific.
What?
We've cocked it up.
What do you mean?
The Golgotfinchams, us, just by arriving here. The caveman is part of the program, and they're dying out because of us. Therefore, no question.
What about my brain?
What about your brain?
Marvin said the question was printed in my brainwave patterns.
All right. Wrong question. It's still cocked up.
Well, it might give us a clue.
Well, if it's in your brain, how are we going to get at it?
Well, how about... If it's in my brain, and I don't know how to reach it, suppose we introduce some random element, which could be shaped by the brainwave pattern.
Such as?
Pulling out letters from the Scrabble bag.
Brilliant.
Right.
Right.
Right. First 4 letters.
W. H. A. T. What? Great. It's working. B. O. Y. Doy. Doy. U. G. Doyug. Ah. E.T. Do you get? What? Do you get? If. Y. O. U. U. M. U. U. Multi. I. P. Multiply. S. I. X. 6. By. N. I. N. E. 9. 6 by 9. Is that it?
That's it.
6 by 9? 42?
I always said there was something fundamentally wrong with the universe. All for that.
Yep.
It's very sad, you know. Just at the moment, it's a very beautiful planet.
It is. It is indeed. The rich primal greens, the river snaking off into the distance, the burning forests.
And then in 2 million years, bang, it gets destroyed by the Vogons. What a life for a young planet to look forward to. What a waste.
Well, better than some. I read of one planet up in the 7th dimension, got used as a ball in a game of intergalactic bar billiards, got potted straight into a black hole, killed 10 billion people.
Madness. Total madness.
Yeah. Only scored 30 points, too.
Where do you read that?
Oh, a book.
What book?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That thing.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Now for the hard part. Taking off from a, what was it, 30G planet? That was fun. I have no idea what's going on with this. Why is nothing working? Come on. Apparently I'm having trouble with my stupid controller now.